Hello and welcome to your latest Maths Wizard video. Today we're going to be taking a look at fractions of amounts. So that's the kind of main skill we're going to be looking at today. So you should be able to calculate fractions of amounts hopefully by the end of this video. So we'll look at a few examples first and then I'll give you a few to have a practice with. Okay, so your first one here, I found this nice little picture which illustrates this nicely. So it's got a nice visual diagram here. So the example I've given you is find 2/5 of 40. So if we look at this picture here, you can see we've got 40 as the whole amount. So that's our total amount. If you're looking at it as a percentage, that'll be our 100%. And then we're looking at the denominator here. The denominator tells us how many pieces we're going to split 40 into. And our denominator here is 5. So if we do 40 divided by 5, that will tell us what 1/5 is. 1/5 is, which is 8. And we've got 2 of those. So if we do 2 times 8, we get our answer, which is 16. So what we've essentially done there is 40 divided by 5 times 2, and that has given us 16. So the key rule to remember is when you're trying to find the fraction of amount is divide by the bottom, which is known as the denominator, times by the top, which is known as the numerator. Okay, so example then. So we've got another nice visual example here. We've got our whole amount here, which is 18, and we're trying to find 2/3 of it. So we've got to divide by 3 there. That will tell us what 1/3 is, which is 6, times it by 2, and that will give us 12, which is 2/3 for that one. Next one. So we'll just start from scratch on this one here then. So we've got 3/4 of 300. So we first need to do 300 divided by 4. That will tell us what 1/4 is, which is 75. And then 75 times 3, that will give us 225 for that one. So you can look at this visually if you want to. So if you want to draw a little, you can use your bar modeling if it's helpful to you. So you can split your bar 4 ways. We've got our 300 here. We're dividing it by 4. Each part of the bar is worth 75. And then you've got those 3 there, which will give you your 225. So I'll give you a few to practice with now then. Here are 5 questions. So pause your video and have a go. Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these then. So now if you're going to pick out a few just to draw your attention to, now this 1/3, this is one I've seen people get wrong quite a few times. Now always, I would say, when you try and find a third, always just divide by 3. Some people get confused and think it's the same as 30%. It's not 30%. Some people even use 33%. It is actually 33.3 recurring percent. So don't use percentages for a third. You can for some fractions. So if it's a nice whole percentage, so 3/4, for example, is 75%. So if you're quite comfortable at using your percentage methods, you might think, well, I'll just do 0.75 times 80 there. But I would say don't do that in general, I would say. And if we look at this bottom one, you'll notice here we've got what's known as an improper fraction. So this is, you might also have heard this referred to as a top-heavy fraction. So this is a fraction where the top number is higher than the bottom. So we've got more than one whole one here. So on this one, the process is still the same. So we still do 44 divided by 9. Sorry, what I'm talking about, 36 divided by 9, which will give us 4. And then we've got to do 4 times 11 then to get to 44 on that one. So the process is still the same, but sometimes people get a little bit thrown by the fact that the larger number is on top of the fraction. Okay, and that's it for fractions of amounts. So thank you very much for listening. If you're liking what you're hearing and it's helpful to you, please hit subscribe. I'll be uploading loads more videos throughout the next academic year, but hopefully these have been useful to you. Thanks very much. Bye bye.